What's up, you guys? Welcome to another Lightshare Labs. I'm here with only Adrian today. We're gonna do a feedback session on one of my older pieces. I did this piece in 2014, but we're gonna try to fix it up later on and see which elements we can use and make better. So let's get started.
It's a cool one. This has a lot of potential, I feel like.
Yeah, I wanted to make this kind of like a village with these sort of totem mountains in the distance, and it had like a bridge crossing through them. But I feel like the scale is a little bit off, and the composition, it feels like the same shape throughout. So
yeah, I like how you already started to implement some depth in the scene with this atmospheric perspective back there, kind of pushing away those distant mountains. But you failed to do that with these ones here, right? Which is why the values are mixing up, because this is pretty much the same value as this. Except this is a lot farther away, right? So I think that will be the first step into fixing this, like pushing it away.
Yeah, like the mountains feel a little bit close to these houses here.
Yeah.
They're not like the right scale.
Also, perspective
like this was supposed to be small.
Perspective was getting quite there, you know? Like you can already see how there's like clear vanishing points. These lines converge here. I like how you kind of put the character in there against the white background, you know, bright background, it's popping. So yeah, instantly recognizable. But then notice as well, Dom, how the character has a much brighter value compared to the very mountain next to it, right? And I think what you were trying to do here is like, all right, so since there's light coming from behind this mountain, right?
Yeah.
Drawing like a little light bulb here. It's right behind, right? So this part is in shadow, all of it. And here you can see some light, right? Same story with the buildings. As you can see, they're catching some light here, here, here.
I think I had difficulty determining like what time of day it was, because this time of day feels almost like a cloudy day, but I wasn't really sure how the lighting affects different surfaces, right? Like, why are these huts green? I didn't really know why they were green.
Yeah.
I thought maybe just to like harmonize all the colors to make it like this cool blue-green tone, but I thought maybe like there didn't need to be any brown on these houses, so I just make them all green. So
yeah,
that's kind of what I
could
want to
definitely
fix.
Play around with the saturation a little, you know, just because right now we see this and this, and it's quite close to this level of saturation in a way, you know.
Yeah.
Everything you have down here. So either that, or I mean, that's gonna come naturally by pushing away these giants, right? Throw in some blue right there, and there you go. But using those hue shifts, I think, can help bring this piece to a more dynamic range of different colors and different, I don't know, like you don't have to overcomplicate it. You can still stay within this very color palette, but by applying those subtle shifts in different tones and stuff, I think you can really bring up that dynamism or dynamic perspective to it. Because speaking of perspective, by the way, the perspective is quite there. I would just perhaps, I don't know, like is this part of the land here kind of going upwards, or is it all like flat?
It's kind of like it's almost like a garden in front of someone's house. But maybe I didn't distinguish the scale or the depth of field enough back here. And I was thinking maybe instead of like these mountain things, it could be some sort of gate, like a ancient Balinese type of gate. Maybe.
Yeah, some man-made type of
like
sculpture, you know?
Yeah.
Like, let's say these were natural formations of rocks that some guys around here have decided to sculpt them into some, you know, partially perhaps. Maybe you can see a face here or an arm holding something, or I don't know, like some epic level kind of stuff, right?
Right.
But then you could play around with the idea of this little bridge you created there. So maybe there's a continuation of this somewhere on the other side. Maybe there's some stairs, you know, some steps, spiral or something. I don't know, leading up there. Or maybe this is coming from somewhere else. From, I don't know, there's a continuation over there, or I don't know, bro. I'm just scribbling ideas.
What do you think of these shapes in the back? Like, what do you think they could be?
The shapes in the back, in a way, I don't like this tangent here. you know? It's kind of annoying to see
slopes
it
downwards.
Yeah. So, I like how this kind of screams for attention in a way, because it's a very pointy shape.
It's not really an interesting focal point though, so I feel something could get replaced there.
It's because it's like competing against the houses in a way, you know, because
in these shapes,
this one stands out because of the contrast, and the houses stand out because of the detail distribution. Like there's no detail here and there's suddenly a lot of detail here, so of course you're gonna try to look here and then you realize this, you're kind of confused, no longer sure. Now if you apply the rule of thirds, we divide this by 3 like so. You see, there's one right there. There's one right here. So they're all
it's just
there.
Not interesting enough.
But you can actually maybe, I don't know how to say this, like balance them out somehow.
And maybe this needs a little bit of 3D. Like some of these houses can be in 3D or photobashed or painted, just to have like a little bit more texture, right? Because it feels a bit not painted well. So I think the texture can help out with that.
I don't know what you were,
and also here,
I don't know what you're thinking
foreground.
What you're thinking about the design of the houses, but it feels like maybe it feels a little too simple, you know, like it's just a flat surface over here. They are lacking that depth, which you could expand with maybe carving some porch or something, you know, or maybe an extra little roof here. Just adding some complexity to them might help. If we're definitely keeping this, like this side as simple as this, as a guy, just, I don't know, you could play around with the story though, because I don't know what exactly the story was. Like you already described some of it in the beginning, but maybe you could add some more. I was thinking
maybe it's like a villager coming into town.
Oh, I see.
He came across like this, I wouldn't say it's like abandoned, but it's more like a quiet village where it's not really inhabited as much. But he's come from like a long journey and he's taking refuge here.
All right, then it definitely has to be like could be like an outpost or like a gate, like you said, right? Could be some structures here. I'm just saying, I don't know. And perhaps you could have like a wall over here or something like that. Kind of like this. You're now entering like this village, right? Like you said. But this is adding a fair amount of complexity to the image, so I'm not sure if you're gonna take this or not. But for now, like the simple advice would be what we already agreed on, which is pushing away the scale of those epic, whatever they're
gates.
Yeah, gates, sculptures, statues, giant mountains, whatever they are. And deciding the time of the day will help you figure out the direction of the light. as well. And I would say maybe you could emphasize a lot more the feeling of a path, because right now we do have this
like an S curve.
Yeah, you know, you could make it feel a little more dynamic in a way. I personally tend to like this zigzagging pattern, you know, like this, and it does this, and then boom, it comes right to the lower right side of the image.
It's better for the eye to kind of lead us here. So
yeah, I think you should play around with that.
Cool. I think we covered most of it.
Yeah.
Onto the speed painting.
Any other recommendations and advice and suggestions, please let us know in the comments down below. Dom, thank you for sharing this. It's been a pleasure taking part on this episode as well.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, are we gonna share the final result after this?
Yeah, I'll put it after this critique video.
Awesome. That was it.
All right.
Thank you guys.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.